to turn this off. This is where all the regulators are. So this is his three phase. It's three phase electrics.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that, yeah.
You've done one of these?
Sure I have.
Right. Sorry.
There's a whole team here.
No, just four. Just us four.
Just you four.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Because we're in the last minute. 30 minutes? Yeah, it's very little. Yeah. My team was 16, 17 minutes.
I think
I was going to challenge you to a penalty shootout.
I wasn't very good at penalties. I scored lots of goals, but the penalties weren't very good.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
That's okay, pleasure. Pleasure, yeah.
Like this, as the mayor, did penalty shootout, it would be hilarious. You do it.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, you did it.
Good man.
Oh, so it's Manchester United. And,
Is he, Bob?
Yeah, yeah. Well, George Best, my dad bought me a
It's amazing how many people say that.
Well,
you know.
my dad bought me a George Best trip when I was 7.
Yeah.
And from then it's been
Yeah,
that.
Best, Charlton, Lord, and you had all the.
Yeah.
Well, I went to Wembley on Friday night. And I live in Southend. It took me 3.5 hours to get home from Wembley. Bear in mind, it's probably 60 miles.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
ridiculous.
it's trying to get out of it.
Well,
it
was 45 minutes before we moved, and then when you got on the North Circular, they closed the North Circular. Dark arse. Thierry Blake? Yeah. Do the soccer. Have you seen the Soccer Saturday show? Yeah, the Stallions. It's a really good show, yeah. Just talk about football now rather than play.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely to see so many of you here this evening. Thank you for bearing with us in the rain. We'll try and keep things nice and warm. If you are here for the coaching masterclass, if we've got any kids here that are still here to take part in the coaching masterclass, can you please make your way over to Ashley, our Fulham coach, who is over on my right-hand side. Otherwise, I am going to hand over to the executive head of business, Lee. Sorry, I'm not going to head over to the executive head of business. Just testing you. I'd love to hand over to our mayor, Bob Pater.
Right, thank you. This is quite special for me. You obviously can hear my accent. I'm Scottish. So what that means is that I don't know that much about football. But actually, I don't know that much about football, but I actually am a football coach. I did football coaching around about 35 years ago in Scotland. Learned nothing, but I am a qualified coach, so I might even be able to come down here one time and actually enjoy the facilities. The second thing is, you might see how good I am at football in a minute, because Tony Cottee, the England legend, has actually challenged me to a penalty shootout competition for a bottle of champagne. So we'll just find out just who could be the better penalty taker. But in all seriousness, first of all, Tony, it's great to have you here. I think we all appreciate your time coming down, and we're all big fans, obviously, of the England football team. Also, we're big fans of this park. This is a fantastic facility in Surrey Heath, and in Surrey Heath. But in terms of the actual facilities in the borough, we're always been struggling for more pitch space. And in terms of Saturdays and Sunday mornings, trying to get additional facilities is really difficult, especially if you have a harsh winter and then all of a sudden fixtures get backed up. With having this new 3G facility, it's actually going to allow us to be much more flexible and be able to put on many more games than ever before. And it gives us the flexibility to be able to do lots of other training sessions as well. So well done to the team at Surrey Heath. I think Councillor Craig Fennell needs some thanks as well. It took him 4.5 years to get this facility. So Craig, thank you. But actually, from the moment that we said to proceed with this, and the completion of it was a very, very short period of time. And that's down to the team at Surrey Heath, but other people that I know Lee is going to thank in a minute that actually did the job of putting in the facility. And on that note, I'd like to hand over to Lee Thornton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, just very briefly, because it is wet, isn't it? But actually, I'll come out here and I'll side with the people out there. No, just to say, I think what's really important to me is that this facility is actually very sustainable. And I know that's a buzzword, but that's about when you've got a project that it's financial and it's environmental and its social factors all balance each other out. And I think that's what's really good here, that we've been out and we've benchmarked prices from local facilities, and we've identified what we think is a good and reasonable rate of hire for it, and we've got a community hire rate and a commercial hire rate as well. And we put a business plan together, and even within the first couple of months of just trying it out, we've seen that that's working. So this is a facility that financially is going to be here into the future. We're very, very confident of that. It's also, from an environmental point of view, as the Mayor mentioned, we've had a lot of problems with overuse of some of the pitches, especially for training, and we've had sort of degraded pitches and caused us quite a lot of problems. And this is going to help solve that, because it gives a good sort of reasonable surface for people to play on all year round and take some of that wear and tear off the other pitches. Then also from the social point of view, this is a great facility to encourage people to come and play all year round. And we've got teams booking. We've got, I think, the Army ladies team is booked to play here. We've got older persons teams that are going to play, for want of a better phrase. So it's fantastic, and we've even got groups of lads now. We've now got the ability to let them book the pitch and use our blanket insurance and just come and have a kickabout. So it's a really good way of encouraging people to get active and get fit. Now, this wouldn't have helped without a lot of people being involved, and it's been a great project. To be very quickly, but I think just to go in a kind of chronological order of how it happened. Personally, I'd like to thank Councillor Fennell for his support for this project and helping us push it along, and I think helping the council as well to have the vision and invest in this facility, which has been really good. Once we realised we were going to go ahead with the project, we needed someone who could help us get the decent spec and get a really good pitch, and we turned to Tom Betts, who I think is over in the corner there from Surfacing Standards Limited, who did a great job drawing up a spec and then working with us to go through all the different tenders we have and pick through it, and we interviewed the different tendering companies, and in the end we picked Spade Oak. And there's someone from Spade Oak here anywhere? Oh, what a shame, because they were absolutely superb, and we mustn't plug people, I know, but they were fantastic. And the project was completed so quickly, it was unbelievable, and to a really great standard, as you can see. So it was a delight to work with them. It really was good. Internally, it takes a lot of work, and we had a number of people working hard on the project. One was Jerry Fisher over there. Jerry did a lot keeping the project on track, keeping the finances going, and keeping us all sort of doing the right things at the right time and making it all work. So thanks, Jerry, for that. Once it had sort of got the autumn was nearly there, we needed to fill it, and Ben behind me had done a great job, I think, getting clubs involved, finding Champions Soccer to come and get involved, and really give it a push, and organising today as well. So thanks, Ben, for that. And as I mentioned earlier, that we've had a lot of demand for it already, and we get a lot of conflicting demands. Everybody wants Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday nights, as I'm sure a lot of you know. We've had to balance that, and to do that we need somebody who understands the clubs and what they do, and Nikki has borne the brunt of trying to organise that and done a great job. I'm sure those of you who work with Nikki will know she's done a fabulous job in trying to get fair use for everybody. So that's been fantastic. Who else have we got? Oh yes, must thank Glendale. Is Chris around anywhere? Chris? No, he's here somewhere. Glendale have really worked with us closely on this project, and particularly operating it in the evenings, and so they've taken that on. And Chris Wickham, who is wandering this way, is self-styled 3G pitch attendant, done a fantastic job. in the evenings, getting the clubs on, checking boots, and making sure everybody leaves it in a good condition as well. So thanks, Chris, for that. So I think that's probably enough from me. But just to say, this is part of a bigger project, and that we've actually taken the opportunity to refurbish the boilers and the toilets and provide a new function room in the building. And that's all should be ready just in the next week or so. But it's all to view. The toilets are open tonight, so you can go and try those out, which would be fab. Yes. And we have a new function room over there as well, which will be available for training and things as well as part of the team. That's all been coordinated by our Green Space team here, and Bethany's done a lot of the work on getting all those projects sorted out. And Steve, who has the lucky job of living in the bungalow here, has had to put up with all the disruption and early morning site meetings, so thanks to you all as well. So do have a look at the new facilities over in the building. There's plenty to see. But enough from me. I'd like to hand back to the Mayor, who's now going to do the official opening.
Lovely, nice big smiles, guys. One more smile, guys. Okay, you can do your. Anyone else?
Yeah, just look into the into that. Lovely. Thank you.
Alan, do you want? Yeah.
Boys, you want to come in?
Boys, we're
All the players, come on up. Come on, get it. Clearly a Man City fan, Karen.
Everyone's going to see me.
Quick smiles this way, guys. Everybody, that's it.
We'll lift him up.
Some of the kids in the front, just kneeling down.
Let's go. One step at the back. Do your bit on the next three, yeah? Okay, guys. Okay, on three with big cheer. 1, 2, 3! Yay!
There we go.
So you got that.
Okay, brilliant. No problem.
Excited. I'm talking to Tony Cotty at the opening of Surrey Heath's new 3G pitch. What do you think of it?
Well, it's the first time I've actually walked onto it. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I was brought up in an era back in the 1980s when we actually did have, AstroTurf, Queen's Park Rangers, Luton, Preston. Might have been another one as well when we used to play, and it was absolutely like concrete outside, and when you used to play on it you used to get grass burns, the ball used to bounce about 50 foot in the air, and it was really hard to play on. This stuff is fantastic. I'm guessing you could probably wear mouldy boots on here. I've got trainers. Most of the young lads have got trainers on, but it's the sort of pitch that, as a kid, I'd love to have had this sort of facility when I was younger. But sadly, we had to play on the concrete and on the muddy grass and that. But as an all-year-round, complex, is fantastic.
Well, I played hockey, and it was even worse in the 70s because it was sand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's great. We've moved on from those days, and technology now gives us this sort of pitch for the kids to enjoy, for the grown-ups to enjoy, and like I say, it's not just during the summer. You can use it all year round, especially when we get bad winters.
Having been a professional footballer and now a famous commentator on Sky, what do you think of the country's youth development for football?
Well, I think there can always be a lot more done. I must admit I'm disappointed with how England have done recently. I travelled out to Brazil last year to watch the World Cup. We was knocked out after 2 games. I was absolutely as gutted as anyone else, and there's obviously been some problems. The issues come from the Premier League. As great as the Premier League is, we all enjoy watching it. It's a worldwide phenomenon. but we are not doing enough to invest back into our English team, back into the grassroots, if you like, the youngsters. And we need to bring more English players through, more British players. Greg Dyke is trying to change things, which is great. I'm really impressed with what he's done in the short time he's been in charge at the FA. But we need more young English players to come through, and actually things like this help because the kids get the chance to play football all year round. They can practice their skills. So we need more of these pitches around the country.
Tony, very, very wise comments. Harry Kane coming through is setting a marker again, isn't he, for bringing youth forward in England players?
Well, the thing is with Harry Kane is he's been given a chance, and there's been many kids over the last 10, 15 years who might have been the next Harry Kane, but for various reasons, sometimes it's just the manager doesn't fancy you, but sometimes, unfortunately, there's a backlog of dare I say it, cheap foreign players who are clotting up the system. I don't think any of us would ever dispute the fact that we all marvelled at Thierry Henry and Gianfranco Zola and Paolo Di Canio and many more. But for all those good players that we've seen in the Premier League, there's been a lot of average players, and those average players take the place of a young English kid. And, if you can't get into the Premier League, into the English squads, you go into the Championship. But then the Championship players go into League One, and the League One players go into... And it filters all the way down the system. So it's long overdue. I'm not standing here preaching tonight. I've been saying it for the last 15 years, ever since I retired, that more has to be done to bring young English players in. And Harry Kane is a shining example of someone being given the chance, being given the belief. I was at Wembley on Friday night and I stood up and applauded him onto the pitch, and I stood up 80 seconds later when the ball went in the back of the net, right in front of where I was sitting. So I'm proud to say that I was there on Harry Kane's debut.
Tony, that's fantastic. I'm a Wolves supporter, so I grew up with...
Long-suffering Wolves supporter.
Oh, I grew up with the Clamp, Wright...
Billy Wright, yeah.
In that era. So it was the Wolves back row was the England back row.
Yeah.
And to see the change now is very sad. So this sort of facility and your comments are really encouraging. So thank you very much indeed. That's fantastic.
That's my pleasure. Well, let's just hope that the people in charge, they should get more ex-players involved. Unfortunately, they don't seem to push that campaign. They seem to get pen pushers involved, and that doesn't always, bring out the best thing in football.
One final question. What do you do to keep fit, being an ex-professional sportsman?
Not a lot. I sit on the sofa at Sky Sports and travel around the country. I play golf. I've been playing golf today, and unfortunately my knees aren't quite as good as they used to be, so I don't do too much fitness work. I'm really hoping that the boys aren't going to put me through too much pain tonight. I've got a feeling I'm going to get dragged over to take penalties or to pass on coaching tips, and the least the better, I would say, from my point of view.
You've been very generous with your time, Tony. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Could I just shake your hand?
Of course you
I
can.
watched your first match in '88 for Everton.
Did you really? You're a
Goodison Park.
Scouser. You're a Scouser,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah. I had a fantastic time at Everton. Yeah.
Fabulous,
Was you there for the Newcastle game?
Yes.
Ah, what a day that was.
Yeah,
nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Cheers, guys. Nice to meet you.
Would you think of one more picture?
Of course you can.
Bob.
Really know how to shoot on you, mate.
Are you the goalie?
Go.
Best of three.
Best of three.
I got a really nice shot.
Bit of movement on the line. Nearly done him. Could be a crucial save. He's getting sacked in the moment. Well done. Come on, Bob.
Going pro, Tony. Think about going pro, mate. Oh, finish.
Not working.
Ready?
There you go.
He's leaving next week.
Oh, is he? Yeah, cheers. That's my day. Thank you. You're welcome. No problem.
As long as you've got a bib, that's absolutely fine. Alright, so there's the white box. You're going to play 2 versus 2. We'll have a quick demo. You're going to go with
Yum, yum.
Yeah?
You're going to wear green for me, and you're going to come and play with me. Okay, can I have a ball? So quick demonstration. Oh, the pass has gone astray. He's chosen to go and get it. So Greaves, you're going to defend that into the box for me, okay? We're going to play for 2 minutes and we're going to rotate. Okay, so you're going to play for, you're going to be coaches for 2 minutes. In that 2 minutes, I want you to wander around and I want you to go and see what you two would change, because you're going to be a pair. What would you change in 2 minutes when you get to have a go to be more successful? But I want to see some discussion from you, but stay on the outside, all right? Are we ready? We're going to play 2 minutes, 2v2 challenge in 2 minutes. Right, 2v2 challenge. Yes. We'll do this. We're going to do this little 2v2 challenge where they rotate every 2 minutes. We've got 2 coaches, and then we're going to play a little 5v5, and we'll probably do the extra number of 4v4 roughly. Then we'll do like a switch pitch. Feel free to join in for that bit. I'll give you a signal. Yeah, I work for the foundation, so. This is opportunity now, into me. Don't need the football to me now, don't need the football to me. Okay. So, fantastic, bit of competition. Do we get the idea? Can I have 2 new coaches, so those 2 that were coaching on the outside, pick another pair and they're going to come and coach with me. Who's coming out to coach? These 2 here? You guys have to coach. Step off the side for me, you're going to be a coach, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. So, I need them in the orange box, 2v2. 2v2, and in this box, if you're not set up, we're losing game time. Hey, fantastic, I've just seen a brilliant step over. You
can either dribble it in or pass it. Not like that.